intents and purposes, it's a playoff game scenario for both the Arizona Scorpions and the St. Louis Gladiators as we welcome you to the gateway of the West, St. Louis, Missouri. Chris Curtis and Stephen Molinex with you for Week 10 action in the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Stephen, teams very even so far. Number one draft pick Johnny Pickler looking to make an impact for St. Louis.
Yeah, and these two teams are looking for a win here late in the season, as you mentioned, in Week 10. Just got 3 weeks to go here in this exciting regular season of the SFL, and we've got the Arizona Scorpions coming in with a record of 3-6, coming off a win over Carolina. And for the Gladiators, they are at 4-5, coming off a loss at Atlanta.
Indeed, Atlanta, of course, the number one ranked team in the power rankings and in the standings coming into Week 10. So not a huge surprise, but a very good effort put in by St. Louis in that game, Stephen. Just a 5-point affair, even though St. Louis only able to put one touchdown on offense.
Yeah, and they really leaned heavily on their running back, Diesel Dawson. 36 carries, Curtis, 149 yards, 4.1 yards per carry. Certainly shouldering a lot of the workload here, Diesel Dawson and the exciting new rookie, Johnny Pickler.
And speaking of Johnny Pickler, he's going to get the ball first. Gladiators to receive on this opening kickoff. It'll be Chase Earl, back there, league leader in kickoff returns for touchdown in season 14. He's got it from the 10-yard line. And here we go to the 30. He's got some room to go on the right side. He gets all the way down to the 44-yard line. What a return. And that shows just how dangerous he can be.
Yeah, absolutely right. Number one in kickoff returns in the SFL this season with 3. Number one in punt return yardage with an average of 8.9s per punt. So just one of the best special teams returner in the game.
St. Louis gets the ball first. We'll get to their offense here in just a moment. Johnny Pickler under center. Diesel Dawson in the backfield. He's going to get the first handoff from scrimmage, and he'll get his way forward for 3 yards. Offense for St. Louis looks like this. Johnny Pickler and Diesel Dawson, who we mentioned. Fullback Trellis Blanton. Wide receiving trio, Sean Harrelson, Nick Finch, and Cameron Shaw, as well as Chase Earl, the quartet, actually, with Cody Scott, your tight end for the Gladiators. Sean Harrelson, 91 yards on 6 receptions. He led the team last week in the loss against Atlanta, but not for lack of effort. Trips right for Pickler on second down. Pickler to throw over the middle. That's caught. Caught a seam, got it all the way down to the 35-yard line. That's good work from Sean Harrelson, his first grab.
Yeah, that's actually the tight end there, Cody Scott. They got him isolated down the middle, just sent him on a nice little post route to the middle of the field, found a little soft spot and completed the pass.
Good work from Cody Scott. Pickler to throw. Not a lot of drop back on this hand. Gets it off to Dawson on the right side in the flat. Nothing much doing. Defense for the Scorpions looks like this. Defensive ends D.D. Saxon, Mark Millo. Tackles Chad Tackle and Alex Constantine. Linebackers Mike St. Green, BJ Lovelace, and Joey Tropicana. Your cornerbacks Tanner Hendrick, Mana Kanaka, and Parker Thomas, along with your safeties Kanye Rockefeller and Eddie Gage. That's the defense for the Arizona Scorpions, who won a 3-point game against Carolina a week ago as they try to keep their playoff hopes alive. Pickler is under center, 2nd and 10 in Arizona territory. Handoff, Dawson gets lit up after a 2-yard gain, and he gets clotheslined for his efforts. That's a huge hit there.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Chad tackled there in on the tackle and just really zeroed in on Diesel Dawson. They know the type of production they're looking to get. St. Louis is looking to get to their running back, and they are keyed up for it.
2 to the left, 2 to the right for Pickler. 4 on the defensive line. We'll see if they stay man. Looks like they are going to. Over the middle. Quick little pass and a first down for St. Louis. Nice crossing pattern to get Shaw involved, and it's 1st and 10.
Yeah, right down the middle of the field again, and a little dangerous of a pass there as Mana Kanaka was in the area. Kanaka comes into this game with 8 interceptions. That's tied for 2nd in the SFL this season, so a dangerous guy to throw to, but successful there.
Yeah, him and Hendricks really doing work on the Arizona defense. Talk about them a little bit later. Trips left for Pickler and company. Look to throw, throws on the run. Short little pass, but it's a 7-yard gainer. 2nd and 3 out to the 17.
Curtis, you got to like what you see early here from St. Louis. They're just moving the ball methodically, a good balance of pass and run. And here, Pickler showing his mobility out of the pocket, able to throw on the run, nail him right between the numbers.
4 different receivers, including the running back, have caught passes so far in this drive for Johnny Pickler. See if they can possibly get themselves into points this first go round from the 17-yard line. Plenty on the line defensively. Handoff through the middle, trying to break the tackle is going to be Diesel Dawson, but he's not going to be able to do it. 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Joey Tropicana doing a good job there. The outside linebacker holding on to the big fella. They've been up to the task so far. This linebacker core is very impressive here for Arizona. They've got an impressive defense overall. Of course, you'd expect nothing less from a defensive coordinator like Eddie Gage.
Yeah, no kidding. The future-bound Hall of Famer, I think, is a pretty safe bet for that man. It's 2 in the backfield for Pickler and company. St. Louis trying to get points through the middle. Did he get it? There is a flag on the play as well. I think the forward progress will get him the first, but it'll depend on the laundry on the field.
Yeah, it's really close, Curtis. I don't know about that. Let's see what this call brings.
Holding, number 78, offense.
Oh, offensive holding. That's going to stop that in their tracks, and that's going to put them back a little bit.
Yeah, and, you know, it's going to make any effort, or even if he was close to the first down marker, not even matter, since they're going to have to go back 5 yards here. But you can see they certainly want to get Diesel Dawson involved in this game, but that's going to cause a 4th down and 2. They're going to have to do try a field goal here.
Yep, that is indeed the case. It is Judah Dorgan, kicker for St. Louis from the left hash. It's a 33-yarder from this spot. Snap good, hold good, kick up and on the way. It is up, and it is off the upright. That's not going to go. And off the right upright it goes, bounces back to the 5-yard line, and missed opportunity there for St. Louis.
Yeah, Dorgan doinks it off the goalpost there. Boink, right there as you see it, and that's not a great way to start. Good offensive series for them going down the field, but a great defensive stop causes that missed field goal. No points on the board, Curtis.
No points on the board indeed, and now we have Ashley Jackson out for her first drive of the game. See if she can get that Scorpions offense moving. Get the rest of the offense called out here in just a second. Offset I. DJ Moses behind her in the backfield. Moses gets the handoff on first down and gets a couple yards and no further. They'll run a no huddle here, so we'll get the offense on the call in just a moment. They're going to stick to the same formation, 4 on the defensive line. Chance for Jackson here. Throws deep over the middle. That's caught down to the 40-yard line and gets caught at the 34. What a throw and catch. That is Tiberius Bovine, the tight end, who's able to bring that in.
Yeah, and they found something that they like in this defense, although Ashley Jackson taking her time to get back under center. But they like the set that they've got this defense placed in.
Out of the backfield. Caught after a 4-yard completion. They're going to continue to run the no huddle as Moses gets a catch there. Still sticking to the same formation. Chance for Jackson over the middle. That's caught again at the 10 to the 5. In for the score. And it is Tiberius Bovine who gets the first strike for the Scorpions on the road.
Curtis, check out the wheels on the 12-season veteran Tiberius Bovine, 6'3", 245. Ashley Jackson finds him wide open in the middle of the field, and then it's just all gas here as he outpaces some of the faster secondary players in this league.
That's a crazy play sequence from the Scorpions, who went no huddle from the first play from scrimmage and stuck to the same formation the entire time, something St. Louis was not prepared for, it looked like. And extra point pending. They're going to be up 7. Wow, what a statement by the Scorpions offense, who are not going down without a fight. Bryant Dynasty in for the extra point. Snap high, handled well, kick up and down. It is up and through for a 7-0 lead. Scorpions have the lead. Gladiators get the ball back when we come back. They're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Welcome back into St. Louis, Missouri. Chris Curtis, Stephen Mullinex. You've got Tom Rahman and Rochelle Colston on stats, and then producer and commissioner Cameron Irvine hitting the buttons, and we are just about to get back underway. St. Louis going to get the ball back after a failed field goal. Stops them from getting 3 points. Chase Earl with the ball in hand on the return. Gets out to the 32-yard line. Talking about the Arizona defense for a second. We mentioned them earlier, Mana Kanaka and Tanner Hendricks, the number 2 1-2 cornerback combo in the league, behind what Houston has going with Garrison and Clark.
Yeah, and ironically, this is a defense that has migrated from Houston, so you can obviously see the two comparisons, a lot of takeaways between these two.
Yeah, Eddie Gage, of course, the common denominator there. That's going to the left, and an 8-yard pass and catch for St. Louis has them set up with a 2nd and 2. Harrelson on the reception.
Boy, for the Gladiators, you've got to like what you saw on offense. Obviously, you wish you would have gotten the end zone or scored that field goal there at the end of the series, but they were moving the ball pretty steadily. Not as steadily, though, as the Scorpions on the offensive side. They went 4 plays, 77 yards for the touchdown by Tavarius Bovine. So a stark difference, but both offenses looking good early.
Look at the size difference. Diesel Dawson out there, he may get, nope, it'll be out to the fullback. That is Blanton who's going to try to truck through one, and he's going to have a couple of yards. 1st and 10 out to the 46, and a new set of downs after Blanton does his work.
Yeah, and this is an offense that has become diverse. Even Diesel Dawson, the more of the hulking, big, as you mentioned, 6'2", 235 guy. He's got 54 receptions coming into this game. So both the fullback and the running back are used as receivers out of the backfield.
And no doubt both of them can knock over defenders who get in their way. It's going to be a handoff through the middle for Dawson. A couple of yards, make it a 2nd and 7 as they get closer to midfield. A must-win game for really both sides. Arizona coming in at 3 and 6. St. Louis coming in at 4 and 5. There's a logjam in the middle of those standings. Only top 10 teams of the 20 in the SFL will make it. And as of right this minute, if nothing's changed from last night, no teams currently have been eliminated from playoff contention with just this game and 2 more to go for each team. That's through the middle. Dawson's got some room to go. Breaks another tackle, dragging Scorpions with him down to the 28-yard line. A world of effort for Diesel Dawson, and he's got him a 1st and 10 in Arizona territory.
Well, give Double D the credit here. He actually had 2 blockers in front of him. They both missed that block right there, but Dawson able to be his own blocker, breaks 2 tackles, and any time in the SFL you can break 2 tackles, you're going to gain a lot of yardage here.
Got to get everybody on the right side of the line here as we have a 1st and 10. 2 to the right, 1 to the left for Johnny Pickler. 7-step drop. Throws left towards the sideline. That's deflected and incomplete near the 20-yard line. 2nd and 10. Arizona's defense standing up a bit there.
Yeah, Tanner Hendricks able to deflect that ball away. One-on-one with Nick Finch. Finch just running a deep out there, and Hendricks all over that. Didn't even give him a chance to get the ball.
Good work. Yeah, the Tanner Hendricks and Mana Kanaka matchup with Sean Harrelson and Nick Finch are going to be something to take a look at. Also Chase Earl in there as well. So we're going to see the dynamic cornerback duo go against 3 very capable receivers, which has been that battle so far, I'd say, pretty even. As of right now, that's going to be a throw short. And good job on Johnny Pickler there. Dude, basically, he's continually taking what the defense gives and gets one on a short pass to get them a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, and that's just Chase Earl there on the turnaround route, just getting them closer, as you said, making this a very manageable 3rd and 3.
Offset eye for Pickler here. 7 on the defensive line. Linebackers moving right. Now moving back left. It looked like they might send some extra help there. Not. That's going to be, wow. How did he find the seam there? Johnny Pickler gets him a 1st and goal, and that ball had no business being caught in that kind of traffic.
Yeah, and arguably probably didn't need to be thrown. There were 2 other guys that were wide open, but Pickler just had his eyes set and focused on Finch and able to really thread the needle right there. Good job by Finch to hold on to that ball with a bunch of orange and white shirts all around him.
You saw the effort there, stretching out, making sure that he was the only one who could possibly do anything with that. Split backs formation for Pickler. on this 1st and goal, trying to tie up the game at 7. To the outside, you try to turn it upfield, ends up cutting back inside, which wasn't very advisable, and now it's a 2nd and goal after a loss of 1.
Yeah, just good, quick decision-making there by Pickler. Just didn't find anyone open in the end zone. Throw it out to your fullback. Let's see if he can gain any yards. If not, it's still 2nd and goal.
Right. Not the end of the world there. Pickler in the gun, trips right, trips left, one to the right as well. From the 9, thrown over the middle, caught, and incomplete. It did hit the ground. I thought he had it, not quite. Cody Scott not able to bring that one in.
Yeah, that's one that he brings in on the regular. Unusual to see Cody Scott put a ball on the ground, but there, really an opportunity to score. I thought he actually got in, but he didn't complete the pass, didn't catch it there.
St. Louis doing really well over the middle of the field right now, finding routes, finding yardage. They're not really testing the outsides. We'll see if they try to do that here on 3rd and goal. From the 9, Pickler to throw. Over the middle again, tipped and caught. Oh, he got it. That's a touchdown for St. Louis. The deflected ball got caught by Chase Earl, and St. Louis is on the board.
Well, an incomplete pass turns into a touchdown pass, and things were looking a little shaky here in St. Louis on their end of the here, but a tip pass there and right into Cody Scott's, Chase Earl's hands. He didn't, Cody Scott there couldn't get the ball, but Chase Earl there to pick up the mess and clean it up for him.
When in doubt, knock it back to a teammate, I guess is where we're looking there. Judah Gorgon going to go ahead and put this one up and see if we can get the extra point on the board to tie the game. Snap good, hold good, kick up and on the way. It is up and it is through with no issues. It's a 7-all game. Scorpions going to get the ball back when we get back to the Coliseum. Stay with us. Seeing a little bit of everything in St. Louis early in this 1st quarter. Stephen Mullinex says the Scorpions are about to get the ball back again. And this game is, well, it's nothing if not unpredictable for the way this game has gone so far. It's a multitude of events that don't normally take place are on the horizon. Justice will bring it back out to the 28-yard line. And Scorpions coming back out on offense for Ashley Jackson and company. Had a good drive last time, complete with a strike to get them down deep into St. Louis territory.
Well, Ashley Jackson, absolutely perfect under center. Completed 3 of her 3 passing attempts for that 74 yards and that touchdown to Tiberius Bovine. Let's see if they go with the no-huddle offense again here. Probably just did that on their first series.
We'll see that. Shotgun play on 1st down. Moses to her left, throw right side. That is going to be caught, and they will indeed start running the no-huddle again. Eventually, we might just have to skip going over the rosters here. And after a 3-yard gain, it'll be 2nd and 7. Right side, same play, same result. 3rd and 4 to the outside once more. And they are wearing out the St. Louis secondary, just running them ragged. Donnie Hands is the main culprit of that. Over the middle, that's caught, and that is a 1st down on 3 straight plays. This may be the sequence that Arizona runs the entire game. We'll see if they have the conditioning for it. In the gun, high snap brought down. Jackson over the middle, diving attempt, and finally, they're still going to go no huddle. Had a chance to huddle up, decided not to do it.
Yeah, this is dangerous here. I mean, you're trying to take advantage of this defense, but can't incomplete passes like that.
That's Moses through the middle. Has a good run up the middle, make it 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 4 to be exact, as everyone gets lined up for yet another no-huddle play. Quick drop back and gets taken down. Jackson is going to get sacked, and that will create a 3-and-out scenario. The defensive line getting to the quarterback.
Well, the dangerous thing about running this no-huddle offense is that if you can't convert it, like they're on third down. Now you're just giving your defense absolutely no chance to rest. They're going to put their defense back on the field. And despite the fact they come into this game ranked 10th, third in passing defense, if you're not giving your defense an opportunity to rest, that can be problems here pretty early on if they continue to go with this no huddle.
So the 3 and out is going to create a punting situation. Chase Earl back there for the return from the 25-yard line. Tries to break through 2 Scorpions, not able to do it, and gets to the 27. Last meeting, or actually not last meeting, the first meeting of the history of these two teams. It's, well, Oklahoma City at the time, St. Louis, who does not own this particular series, won that game by a pretty large margin.
Yeah, and again, we see a familiar name, some guy that's already scored in this game. Tiberius Bovine, 6 catches, 120 receiving yards, and a touchdown. On pace to certainly do that in this game as well.
1st and 10 for St. Louis. Diesel Dawson in the backfield, 4 on the defensive line. Hand off Dawson, nice work, breaks through a tackle, breaks through 2, can't get through 3, and a 7-yard effort. Gets a 2nd and 3.
Well, when you get the freight train going in one direction, it's hard to stop Diesel Dawson. You see plays like that, and you have to believe that's why you would give it to someone like him 36 times, 36 carries in their previous matchup against Atlanta. You want to take advantage of that power.
I formation to the left. Hand off. Dawson going to try to fight his way through the middle, and it will be 3rd and inches. Couldn't quite get to the 38-yard line, which is where he needed. It'll be 3rd and very little.
I thought he got it there. I thought he just really great job of churning those legs right at the end of that play. I thought that he might have stretched it over. They're not going to call a challenge here. 3rd and inches. I'm likely going to gather a guess where they're going to go with this one.
Yeah, no kidding. Probably shouldn't have, probably should go that way. We'll see if they do it. 7 attempts, 42 yards, make it 8 for more than that. Get him to a 4-yard run there. 1st and 10 out to the 40. And a new set of downs again, and that's a nice start for Diesel Dawson.
Well, the Gladiators come into this game with the 6th-ranked scoring offense, averaging 27 points a game, and they're just really balanced really well in passing and rushing, really leaning on Dawson, but do a good combination of both pass and run.
Trips left, 1 to the right for Pickler. Short throw, got some room to run after catching the angle, and it'll be a 9-yard reception. Good work from Harrelson to bring that one in, his 2nd catch.
Yeah, Harrelson at 6'3", 200 pounds, the tallest of the wide receivers here in St. Louis. And looks like a tight end almost. He's that big.
Yeah, 7 all, end of 1st quarter, 3 left in a 7-7 game when we get back to St. Louis. And back in the gateway to the west, Chris Curtis, Stephen Mullinex, Tom Rahman, Rochelle Colston on stats as well as Cameron Irvine, our producer and commissioner. On the buttons, welcoming you back to St. Louis, Missouri. 7-all game, and St. Louis has the football moving left to right on your screen in the offset I formation for Johnny Pickler. Pickler, handoff, Diesel Dawson going to try to break through. One does, has a chance to break through a second one-on-one, and finally the Scorpions will converge. Another first down into Arizona territory at the 41.
Yeah, and just a nice job there by Diesel Dawson going one-on-one against the defender and able to break through that tackle. That burst him out to the outside to get those extra yards. And coming into that play there, he was averaging 5.6 yards per carry. So Dawson really being effective when he totes the rock.
7-all game in the second quarter. Dawson gets another handoff. He'll drag some Scorpions with him after a 3-yard carry. Make it 2nd and 7. And St. Louis moving the ball pretty effectively. Pickler taking what the defense gives him as he's been doing all night. Nothing much over the top and no real big gambles thrown on long passes.
Yeah, and the Gladiators are doing it differently than Arizona here early in the game, where Arizona approached, had a no-huddle approach to their offense, which has been amazing and fast-paced to watch. Gladiators have been really balanced, going to Diesel Dawson quite a lot.
2 to the left, 2 to the right for Pickler, looking to throw. 5-step drop, throws short to Dawson. Let's try to turn it upfield. Took him a second to realize where he was, and he'll get a couple yards for it. Make it 3rd and 5. And they have a chance on 3rd down once again. And 3rd downs for them so far, 3 for 6. We'll see what they do in their 7th attempt.
And Dawson coming into this game was 5th in rushing yards, already over 1,039 yards here on the season with 3 games to go.
Dawson in the backfield, same formation, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Pickler, no drop back, puts a slant over the middle. Inside slant works perfectly, and it's 1st and 10 past the first down marker, and they are in field goal range as well.
Yeah, and the Gladiators really, when they're not going to Dawson, they're really implementing a short passing game. So you're seeing these short little outs, and they're showing these quick little slants, and they're just getting the ball out of Pickler's hands. Been sacked 32 times so far this season, which is a #1 in the league. That's the most sacked quarterback in the SFL. So that quick passing game to his advantage.
Pickler throws on the run towards the sideline. That's going to be caught and dragged, a 9-yard completion. A crazy completion at that, but it worked well for Nick Finch.
Yeah, and Finch actually waiting on the ball, does a good job of not allowing his momentum to take him out of bounds. But Pickler delivering the ball, a crisp, accurate ball under pressure while he's being hit. That just shows you the frame, the 6'3", 210-pound frame that this guy has, able to get that ball away.
In the red zone at the 15-yard line, trying to knock on the door and get the lead for his team. Through the middle, Dawson cannot get the first down, and Pickler is staring at a 3rd and 1 right in the face, and Joey Tropicana, gets up and takes the tackle away.
Yeah, B.J. Lovelace is in there as well, number 54. So Tropicana and Lovelace, the 2 linebackers, able to really flood the middle of that line, and they were looking for Diesel Dawson for this one, for that one, and probably for this one.
7 in the defensive box. Handoff Dawson. 1st down and more. Trying to get to the outside. He's going to get taken down by the linebacking core. 2nd level does good work. It keeps him to the 9-yard line.
Well, it's easy to be Tony Romo when you got a guy like Diesel Dawson running the ball. You know, in those short yardage situations, his number is going to get called, and he has been able to really step up to the call in this game, making it look a bit easy here to convert those 3rd downs.
Wouldn't be surprised if they go run to the right here. Nope, they'll go past Pickler to the outside, tries the outside, gets the catch, trying to break through a tackle, and it's not going to work. Gets a couple yards out to the 6 after a 3-yard gain. The fullback, Blanton, gets him to 2nd and goal.
Well, you had the right side of the field right there, Curtis. Certainly threw it out there. And you know what, this close to the end zone, that's a really good idea to do. You know, instead of running the ball, running out your fullback and your running back out in those flats, see if you can find one open. A lot of times the defense will all flood to the end zone, and you can find a guy wide open out there for a touchdown.
Took a look there at Manakanaka. Team leader in interceptions, looking for one right here would be huge. That is caught, and that is a touchdown for St. Louis. They're on the board again, and they take the lead at home.
Yeah, and again, it's Cody Scott down the middle. They are perfectly using their tight end here, the 6'5", 225 Cody Scott. Just a big target on a little slant route right down the middle of the field, and using his height to their advantage. Pickler just lays this one up pretty high and allows the big tight end Cody Scott to come in and dunk down that alley-oop.
The second time's the charm for Cody Scott as well. The first time they threw it to him in the end zone, he actually had to tip it back to Chase Earl for that earlier score. This time he has one all to himself. Extra point from Gorgon going to be on the way here shortly. 13-7, now 14-7 as that one is up and through. Scorpions get the ball back. They're all of a sudden down a score. Ashley Jackson and company going to try it for redemption. Right after this, stay with us. Welcome back into St. Louis, 14-7, and it'll be Roscoe Justice back deep for the return, and Arizona trying to get this game back even from her own 6, and Justice is going to be taken down at 1st and 10. Getting the Arizona Scorpions offense now as we get a chance. Ashley Jackson and DJ Moses, who we've talked about. Laura Horrell, the fullback. The Hands brothers, Donnie and James, along with Roscoe Justice in the wide receiving core. TJ Punk and Tiberius Bovine, who already has a touchdown on the board for the tight ends for Arizona. We'll get to the St. Louis defense eventually, as long as Arizona gives us a chance to breathe. Offset I formation for Ashley Jackson on 1st down. Looking to throw on the run to the flat, caught, and not much happening after that. So it looks like we do get a chance to go after the St. Louis defense. The defensive ends, Todd Dubstad and Tony Roberto. Defensive tackles, Shane Masters and Franco Snoddy. Linebackers, Mark Gronick and Brandon Van Nort, along with Chuck Diesel. Cornerbacks, Even Arthur and Drew Reilly. Free safeties and strong safeties, Freeman Peltier, Nathan Blake, Chad Nevels, and Colin Douglas. Going back to Drew Reilly, he has 3 interceptions in 3 straight games. So 1 in each of those games. So he looks to try to continue that today. This will be a run up the middle for Moses. Not much to it. And it'll be a 1-yard gain. Make it 3rd and long for Arizona, who went no huddle the first 2 drives. This time they've kind of changed their tone. We'll see if that's the case.
Well, CC, you talked a bit about Drew Reilly. Actually comes in this game #1 in the league in pick sixes. Has 2 defensive touchdowns, leading all defenders in that category.
In the gun. Jackson to throw over the left side. That's caught deep towards the 50-yard line. And there is a flag on the play as Roscoe Justice brings it in, but we'll see if the flag brings it back.
Holding, number 72.
So offensive holding, and so that is going to put that ball right back in the hands of Ashley Jackson back a little bit further.
Yeah, and that's disappointing. Justice able to get wide open on a corner route and gain a significant yardage, but the offensive holding call brings them back and makes this, a 3rd and 19. Not many plays in the playbook that's going to convert that.
Yeah, usually they're all vertical, so let's say that's where that goes. Offset I formation for Jackson. 5-step drop, looks to throw deep over the middle, getting all at one throw. 1st and 10 for Arizona at the midfield stripe. What a throw and catch by Tiberius Bovine.
Ashley Jackson drops this one in the bucket. Look at the accuracy of this pass. Over 2 second-level defenders, right on a line to Bovine. It doesn't get any more beautiful than that.
That was absolutely gorgeous, and if you are St. Louis, you are kicking yourself, as that is almost inexcusable to give up a play like that on 3rd and long. Jackson to throw on 1st down, 5-yard, 6-yard, 7-yard gain after a 7-yard reception and tackle, as it'll be 2nd and 3.
And here's the no-huddle offense again here for the 3rd straight series.
Keeping them on their toes. That's a handoff through the middle, make it 3rd and 1 after an immediate tackle. Looks to do it again. This game moving very quickly. Right side. That's going to be a chance for Moses on the spin move. He gets a 1st down and more as they're in field goal range for the first time.
Scorpions got to find a way to get DJ Moses more involved. That was beautiful there.
Jackson ready. Handoff again. Moses gets a couple more. 2nd and 7. They will continue to give it to him all day long as he gets 3 and 4 every single carry.
And when Arizona has gone to this no huddle, they have just down the field, but they're mixing and matching right now on this series. They'll go and they'll take not a timeout, but they'll stop the no huddle when they need to get a new play in. It's been masterful.
It's been great. Really nice rhythm changes. 7-step drop for Jackson deep over the middle. That one is caught, and it broke the plane. That's a touchdown for Arizona, and they do it again. What a throw and grab. This time, Donnie Hands.
Well, this is where it pays to have a 6'6", 220-pound number 2 wide receiver out there on the field for you, able to use his entire frame, not only just to catch that ball and bring it in, but to cross the goal line with it. Just an excellent job by Arizona, really moving down. Both of these offenses have been so efficient today, Curtis.
It's been great and really, really fun to watch, as well as the extra point going to be up and gone here in just a second. 14-13 at the moment. Dynasty ready for the extra point. Snap good, hold good, kick up and on the way. It is up and it is through. 14 all, and St. Louis going to get the ball back, but Arizona's done what they set out to do. They've more or less quieted this crowd.
Yeah, 9-play, 71-yard drive ending in that Donnie Hands touchdown. And boy, just really looked efficient doing so, mixing the no huddle with the just regular play calling. Got in the plays that they needed to. They got their running back involved. Both of these offense just clicking at a high level.
Kick up and gone. It'll be to Chase Earl at about the 16-yard line. Has some room to go. He's had some really good returns today. This one out to the 35-yard line. There's a reason he's the leader in kickoff return yards, and he shows it there.
Yeah, absolutely a danger to take it to the house every single time he gets the ball. It's just a luxury to have that. Now, where it kind of hurts you is that now he has to come back and play offense, a little fatigued because he had to play special teams, but that's the trade-off that you'll take for those exciting returns.
3 to the right for Johnny Pickler, number 1 overall pick in a tie ball game. Handoff, Dawson through the middle, has a chance to move, and he's going to get a 6-yard gainer for the Gladiators in the 2nd and 4.
Well, you mentioned Pickler was the number 1 overall pick, and we've had several number 1 overall picks in our game, but Pickler has really lived up to his billing, transforming this Gladiators team into the 4-5 team that they are right now, right on the edge, as we showed earlier, of playoff contention.
That's a step in the right direction. He's also doing it individually as well. Through the middle, Dawson has a good run forward, get them a first down. Download the ScoreStream app and follow your favorite team for live scoring updates when you aren't able to catch a game live. You can follow just your team or the entire league, the first esport league on the app. As we take a look there at that leaderboard, that says it all right there. 2nd in QBR for Johnny Pickler.
Yeah, Pickler coming into this game over 2,000 yards passing, but the kicker here is 15 touchdowns to only 7 interceptions. And may I remind you, he is the most sacked quarterback in the SFL as well. So he's doing it under pressure, but being very efficient.
So far has not been sacked in this game. This will be over the middle and a quick throw and catch. 2nd and 1. Majority of their passes inside the first down marker and just giving it to the receivers to get things done in the open field. And so far it's working for St. Louis.
Yeah, and it's using Diesel Dawson in the way that he really is built to be used at 6'2", 235. So that power back, able to get short yardage conversions like this here.
2nd and 1. Handoff, Dawson through the middle. He's got a first down and a couple more out to the 39. It's been a rough and tumble game. Offensive and defensive lines performing very well on each side.
Right, and for St. Louis's offense, got to be really encouraged what they're seeing against this really stingy Arizona defense coming into this game. 3rd in passing defense, 11th in run defense.
14 all. We'll come back after a quick break as the 2-minute warning is upon us as we head towards halftime. And back into St. Louis, Missouri, 14-all as we head towards halftime. Remember, the Gladiators started with the football when this game went on the air. So Arizona will get it at the start of the second half. So it becomes a more crucial point for St. Louis to potentially take the lead going into the break. 1st and 10 becomes 2nd and 10 after no gain from Diesel Dawson.
Yeah, and Chad Tackle able to put his 6'5", 320-pound frame on top of Diesel Dawson, and that's a nice matchup we've seen already take place earlier in this game. And Chad Tackle, one of the best in this league, has been for quite a while. His 5th season coming into this game with 7 sacks, 10 tackles for loss.
Looks to throw to the outside. That's caught past the 40 to the 36-yard line. And a 3-yard gainer will set them up with 3rd and medium. Dawson again has had his hands on the football. I'd say probably 66% of the time St. Louis has had it.
Yeah, you're right, Double C. That's right. And as far as what St. Louis now at critical 3rd and 7, right on the edge of field goal range.
Pickler over the middle, tipped. It's still in the air and finally will hit the turf. That was a comedy of errors. Mana Kanaka in there to make things difficult as well. And it's 4th and 7 as they'd be looking at a 53-yarder from this spot, something they may decide to try.
Pickler really trying to get the Arizona Scorpions defense off guard by really quick snapping that and throwing it almost instantly. The ball touched his hands, but the receiver just couldn't bring it down, tipped it up. Luckily, it was incomplete.
So Judah Dorgan trying to get the Gladiators on the board here to give them a 3-point lead, but it's going to be a long one from this spot. 53 yards from the left hash. 0 for 1 today. Snap is good. Hold good. Kick up, and it is no good. Looked like it was a bit short and wide left as well. Not going to work, and 0 for 2 is Dorgan, but that's a long one from there.
Yeah, and I have to question that decision there after seeing that first field goal attempt doink off the top of the goal post to send him out there to kick a 53-yarder with his confidence so low. Now you're giving the momentum to Arizona in a tied ball game with just over a minute left, an opportunity for them to get points on the board and take the lead in this game.
Not to mention good field position as well as they start this drive from the 43. Trips left for Jackson. Thrown over the top. That's intercepted. St. Louis gets the ball right back after an errant throw by Jackson. Gives the Gladiators a chance to redeem themselves right away.
Well, Ethan Arthur there gets his 4th interception of the season. Pretty easily reads this one, able just to stay with hands there the whole way down his route. Just a go route that he's able to match his speed with. Picks that one off really easy. Evan Arthur, boy, nice pick.
Evan Arthur, very, very good player, and he makes an impact here. This will be a good start for St. Louis trying to get points. Still tons of time. 58 seconds and all 3 timeouts. Pickler to throws short, puts it in the hands of Dawson in the open field. Gonna try to break through 2, gets through 1, but not the second. And it'll be a 5-yard gain, and they'll up tempo.
Yeah, for the first time in this game, matching what Arizona's done for a lot of their series.
2 to the left, 2 to the right for Pickler. No drop back on it, tries an inside slant, gets the catch, and a 1st down. They'll call their first time out.
Yeah, Chris, I'm not exactly sure how he got that one in there. Saving his quarterback there as Harrelson and the defender were matching the speed there, and then Harrelson right at the last second boost just a little bit to get ahead and able to grab that ball. But Pickler throwing the ball before the receiver's open. That tells you how much confidence he has in Harrelson.
The timing is impeccable. 3 to the left for Pickler. Just a matter of who wants it more down here. This is going to be a catch and spin, a run forward, steps out of bounds. Does Dawson, but it does get them a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They're right where they were just about when Dorgan kicked that field goal attempt. So they get another chance at it potentially.
Yeah, and Chris, the force is strong with this one. Diesel Dawson, you get the ball to the outside, and he's able to turn the corner and get that shoulder down. And boy, look out, running angry.
1st and 10. The Arizona 37. Pickler's under center. Dawson to the backfield, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. 4 on the defensive line. There's 3 defenders to the left with those receivers. Thrown. Oh, that's picked off. The other way they go. Arizona turns the ball over and gets it down. It's Mana Kanaka with another interception. The team leading 9th on the season.
Yeah, Kanaka has been on a tear through this season, as you mentioned. And here, it's just a stopped route. He gets stopped. Actually, the receiver gets stopped on his route. They're number 10, not able to complete his route. The ball's delivered on time, but Harrelson just not there. And guess who is? It's Mana Kanaka.
As he has been 8 other times this season, brings another one in and give Arizona back the football, 1st and 10. Not a ton of time left, but still all 3 timeouts. They might be able to get something done here. Jackson is under center in the offset eye. 7-step drop, deep drop, thrown deep over the middle. That's caught down at the 29-yard line. It's 1st and 10 with 20 seconds to go, and they'll call timeout.
Ashley Jackson, man, she can really sling the pill. Let me tell you what, got a lot of juice on this pass, puts a little smoke on the football down the middle of the field, and who's there? All good, all hands. James Hands brings it in, and a completion down the middle of the field, already in field goal range with 20 seconds left here. I think they're going to do at least one try for the end zone for putting this field goal attempt up.
They connected last week on an 86-yard strike from the 14-yard line to Jackson to Hands. They connect here for a long one. Thrown on the run, tipped and nearly completed, but it hits the ground harmlessly. The linebackers coming back to make a play deep in coverage.
Let me tell you what, St. Louis's defensive line should get credit for that. Able to make Ashley Jackson just uncomfortable enough to have to throw that ball on the run, cause it to be just a little short. If she had just a millisecond more of time, that's a touchdown.
And they will attempt the field goal. I thought they might try one more shot at the end zone, but they'll decide to go the other way. Bryant Dynasty from the 29-yard line. It is going to be a 46-yarder from this spot, from the left hash. Snap good, hold good, kick up, and on the way, and it is up and through. 17-14 after that cluster of possessions in a short amount of time. Arizona comes out with the lead, and they're going to get the ball at the start of the second half.
Wow, it's just been a flurry of interceptions here in the last 2 minutes, and then finally to see someone get down the field and score in just a couple plays. It was just amazing to watch, and just kind of tells you the offensive efficiency that's happened in this game, and we really hadn't seen a turnover here until the last 2 minutes. But boy, it's been some exciting football. But hey, Chase Earl right here.
Yeah, there's enough time left for him. He's going to try to work it to the outside, and he's going to get down to the 31-yard line. 7 seconds left for Johnny Pickler and company, down 3, and it becomes imperative that they get this one to the locker room with the same score and get this out of the first drive of the second half with the same score. You do not want to give Arizona any kind of momentum. They're playing good football right now.
You're right, and it's been a very clean game up to that. Those 2 interceptions back-to-back that we saw. And remember, Pickler only came into this game with 7 interceptions, but it looks like they're going to pass the ball here.
They are indeed on first down. 3-step drop, looks to throw, throws over the top. That's caught, first down and more, out to the 49-yard line, and they do call the timeout. This is in range for a Hail Mary, and that's probably what we'll see for the last play of the half.
Well, Pickler's got that kind of arm. You'd think that he could be on his own 1-yard line and still have the range to make a Hail Mary pass because of his arm strength. But you're right, that pass actually allowed them to get to midfield so that he can make this attempt. Now the question is, can the offensive line hold off these defenders just long enough so Pickler can gather the strength to get this ball down the field?
As you mentioned, he is the most sacked quarterback in the SFL. So it would be imperative for the offensive line to do their job. 4 to the right in Hail Mary formation. In the gun by himself is Pickler. He's at least a second to get it off. Pump fake. Pocket holding. He's going to heave it up right side of the end zone to the back of the end zone. Tipped and incomplete it goes. And that is going to get us to the end of the first half. 17-14. Arizona leads it at the end of 2 quarters of play. As we head to the halftime locker room, let's go to Stephen Mullinex for his halftime thoughts and keys to the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Well, until the end of that second quarter, Chris, it was pretty much an offensive ball game. We saw the offenses do pretty much everything that they wanted to against both of these defenses, coming in with both over 200 yards there in the first half. Surprisingly, though, Arizona only 5 minutes of time of possession for them. They have been really efficient when they've had the ball to move it down the field quickly, whereas the Gladiators we've seen be a little bit more balanced in what they're doing. Arizona using that no huddle to really a great effectiveness to them. And You know, it might be a little bit of a game, different of a game here, and certainly St. Louis would be in the lead if they had made 2 field goal attempts that they missed on. But still, no matter what, a tight game, a very entertaining game, and one where, you know, maybe we would have thought the defense would have stepped up a little bit more, but happy to see these offenses really succeed.
Tight game, which is exactly what we want to see in a playoff type scenario, which is what this basically boils down to. Ashley Jackson, 11 for 14, 172 yards. Johnny Pickler on the other side, 22 for 27 and 171. Receiving leaders for Arizona, it is Tiberius Bovine and Donnie Hands who lead with 4 receptions. Tiberius with 107 yards receiving, and the touchdown on the other side, it is Sean Harrelson. 5 receptions, 58 yards, and no touchdowns for him. The only touchdown comes by way of Chase Earl on the wide receiving core. Otherwise, Cody Scott has one as the tight end. So very, very good work. Rushing attempts, 16 for 80 on Diesel Dawson, which is pretty on par with his normal workload. And then DJ Moses, 6 attempts for 28 yards. Not a ton of rushing attack from Arizona, but they haven't needed it as much, Stephen.
Yeah, and look, the story of this game cannot be told without mentioning Diesel Dawson. I mean, this guy has been integral to what the Gladiators have been doing. He's been money on those 3rd down and 2nd down short carries, and has also been someone that they look for in the passing game with 5 receptions for 19 yards. So in every aspect of the game, offensively for St. Louis, it's been the Diesel Dawson show, with Johnny Pickler just being his usual efficient self, completing 81% of his passes, got those 2 touchdowns, and that very rare interception for him. But the way these 2 offenses are going, boy, it could be just a fireworks show here in the second half.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be a darn good one. If you haven't already, call your friends, call your neighbors, get them in. There's live football on 11 Sports and for the fans, and it is by way of the Simulation Football League. Welcome back into the Coliseum. Chris Curtis, Stephen Molinex, and Tom Rahman, along with Rochelle Colson on stats. Cameron Irvine, our producer and commissioner, is on the buttons as we get ready for the second half. Roscoe Justice back deep for Arizona as we get things set for the 3rd quarter. Dorgan has it on the tee. This ball is up and gone, and we are underway in the 3rd. Caught from the 9-yard line by Justice, moving it up the middle, moving right, now left, has some room to go forward, and gets to about the 35-yard line. Good return day for both of these return guys as we have a 3-point game start the 3rd quarter.
And then we take a look at the playoff picture. Both of these teams just outside it, not eliminated. As Chris mentioned, no team has been eliminated here as we start week 10. Arizona coming in with a 3-6 record. St. Louis there right on the edge, as you see, at 4-5, could really use a win. Both teams needing a win here.
Yeah, indeed. And the team not listed there, Arizona, they're at 3-6, only 1 game back right now, record-wise, of the St. Louis Gladiators. So that could be a thing going forward. 2nd and 10 after a quick pass. It goes nowhere to Tiberius Bovine, and we have a 2nd down.
Well, as you saw there on the graphic, both quarterbacks being pretty equal here. 170, 168 respective yards there, but the 2 touchdowns, 1 interception each. Both of those interceptions are coming in the final 2 minutes of the first half.
2nd and 10. Jackson handoff. Moses has a juke to the right, has a couple yards. It'll be a 4-yard gainer. Actually, they'll give him 5, make it 3rd and 5. So it's a manageable 3rd down on the first drive of the second half.
Well, I think St. Louis is giving everyone kind of a blueprint of how to use some of these bigger running backs like DJ Moses in the league. And you've got to find those success on those short yardage plays. I mean, you're going to have a running back and they can't convert your short yardage. I'm not sure why you have one.
That's Jackson over the middle, a diving forward play and catch. That is a 1st down and then some. It is Roscoe Justice on the play and the conversion, 1st and 10.
Well, the versatile Justice, not only an excellent return player, but a nice 3rd wide receiver, a rookie, a 2nd-round selection, number 40 overall in the draft. The shorter of the 3 receivers here at 6'3". Boy, 6'3" being short, not in my world.
But he's perfect for a slot receiver, which is what he's utilized as here. This will be Jackson on 1st down, a little bit of a crossing pattern, a 5-yard completion, and it's 2nd and 5.
Well, the 2 Hands, Donnie Hands and James Hands, have been the 2 of the more consistent wide receivers in this league for a long time, coming by way of London to this pretty much new branded or rebranded team here in Arizona, have been a staple of this passing game.
Formerly the OKC or Oklahoma City Renegades. from previous. This will be Jackson on second down, deep left side. That's caught. It is James Hands on the left-hand side. What a grab. 1st and 10 gets him down to the 12.
Well, this is the second time that corner route has worked. The first time to Roscoe Justice, but it was called back because of an offensive holding call. Here, boy, just a perfect pass by Ashley Jackson on the outside of James' hands where he could only get it. The defender leaping up to try and knock it down, can't get it. No defense for the perfect pass, Curtis.
My eyes don't deceive me. That was Freeman Peltier who ended up getting beat on that, but not for lack of effort. Real good attempt at the football. Trips left. Handoff, Moses, and that's not going to go very far. 2nd and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, and you can just see that Moses doesn't have the same pop that Diesel Dawson does on those inside runs. And we've seen Moses have success on the outside when they've been able to get the ball to him, but just haven't gone to him a lot. That'll be his 8th carry on the game.
2 to the left, 1 to the right for Jackson. 7 in the box defensively. See if they send any extra help. They'll send 4. Jackson up the middle, gets taken down before she can throw it. And that is 3rd and 13 at the 14. Key play there on the tackle for loss.
Yeah, and that's Shane Masters racking up now his 11th sack on the season. Actually, 11.5 sacks on the season. The sack master here for St. Louis. Actually, first time we've called his name, but good to do so here in the red zone for them.
Yeah, key play by Shane Masters sets them up on a 3rd and 13. It's a 3rd and long. They're 4 for 6 on 3rd down. We'll see if they can get 5 for 7. Going for the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. They take a 2-possession lead on the road.
Well, is there any question who Ashley Jackson is looking for on those key plays? He's always looking for number 89, Tiberius Bovine, because he makes one-handed plays like that. Wow, the 360 spin, the one-handed catch, doing it all. Man, extends the lead for Arizona. Can you ask for anything more from a 12-season veteran?
No, you shouldn't, but what a play. That's a crazy, crazy clutch play from Ashley Jackson to Tiberius Bovine and make it a potentially 10-point lead after Dynasty gets done doing what he does. Snap low, handled well, kick it up and on the way. It is up, and it is through. It's a 10-point game in St. Louis, but the Gladiators are getting the ball back. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Back to it. Arizona about to kick the ball off here as St. Louis going to get it going here in very short order. 24-14, Arizona with the lead here in the 3rd quarter of play. 7 and 27 left in it. Chase Earl back deep for the return. This is up, and it is gone to about the 8-yard line. Earl has the football, moving right at the 20, moving back left, and gets taken down at the 31-yard line. Johnny Pickler on your screen, the number 1 overall pick, but he's not playing like it's Stephen Mullinex.
Yeah, you know what? I've actually been pretty impressed by his efficiency, and not just for the season, but in this game. Has just really been sharp and crisp on those short passes. But certainly down 10 here, his medal is going to be tested.
Should be good. Pickler under center. Handoff. Right side, and that is going to be a Dawson immediate tackle. It is 2nd and 10.
And on the previous series, Bovine going over the century mark, 120 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day for Tiberius Bovine, the tight end. Just a terrific day so far for him, and we're not even midway through the 3rd quarter.
That is correct. 3 to the right for Pickler. 4 on the defensive line again for the Scorpions. And again, they go to Dawson, but it looks like the Scorpions have shored up that defensive line to get in the way of that rushing attack.
Yeah, and Tropicana there. We've seen him and B.J. Lovelace really control that middle at times. And this is what you want to see out of the Arizona defense, able to control Diesel Dawson in the middle, now force Pickler into a difficult 3rd down.
They've had some pretty good success on third down in this game. 2 to the left, 2 to the right for Pickler. Looks to throw. No, he's going to get taken down for the 33rd time this season, and that's a big sack defensively, and saluting his target is the defensive lineman, Mark Mello.
Yeah, Mello bringing in his 8th sack on the season. Just coming around the outside there, able to beat the tackle, and Pickler just needs to throw this just a second sooner to get it off. Did a good job of not fumbling that away, able to bring it back in, but that's going to cause a 4th down and a punt.
It is indeed. That's a big time to get a 3-and-out on defense if you are Arizona. You just take a 10-point lead, and then you force the offense on the other side to go 3-and-out, and there is a nervous chatter among fans at the Coliseum at the moment. Kick up and over at the 41-yard line. The return by Justice gets him out to the 47. And that'll bring it back out Ashley Jackson, who has had a very, very good day, minus the 1 interception, 16 for 19 unofficially, 234 through the air, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception.
And as we mentioned, Tiberius Bovine, her favorite target, 7 targets so far in this game, with Donnie Hands right behind her with 5. James Hands was 4.
Offset eye for Jackson, 2 to the right. Quick drop back, throw left. Got it into the flat area, and that gets Moses the football, which is what they want to do. Get him in open traffic. It's 2nd and 5.
Yeah, and that's the one aspect of the game we haven't really seen enough of is DJ Moses. You'd like to see him pick his game up a little bit, and if they could do so, up by 10 right now, 24 points on the board for them. This is an offense that came into this league a scoring offense, 19th in the league, averaging only 17 points a game, really over their average right now.
Looking to throw over the middle. That one is caught. 1st and 10 at the 37, and get the Scorpions moving forward. It's James Hands again who's making an impact in this game.
Yeah, but I'm really impressed by Ashley Jackson's poise in the pocket, just the courage to really hang tough, and delivers the football in the face of a lot of pressure right there, but just makes those subtle moves in the pocket to get her open just enough to wait for his wide receiver to get open.
Oh, Moses gets taken down, and that's going to be a tackle nearly for a loss, but no gain officially. It's 2nd and 10. St. Louis trying to stand up here.
And the Scorpions giving every opportunity to Moses to try and get more involved in this game, and Ashley Jackson really bailing them out at times when she needs to. But, at that time, Moses really didn't have a chance. He was met in the backfield by St. Louis defenders.
3 to the right, 1 to the left, and that is going to be a run through the middle, but again, no gain. And the linebackers coming up to make hits time after time for St. Louis. It's working well.
Yeah, and Chuck Diesel there says, "You shall not pass," down the middle of the field, which is now they're probably forced to pass here on 3rd and 10.
Gandalf references in SFL. I'm not sure how I could possibly work that in. 3rd and 10. Jackson to throw. He gets taken down from behind, and that is a sack for the 2nd time in this game. She goes down, and it's a 3-and-out from the St. Louis defense now. Franco Sonati gets up to make the play.
Yeah, Sonati racking up his 8th sack on the season. Really just be able to get penetration there from his defensive tackle spot, penetrate the interior of that defensive line, and now all that time that Ashley Jackson had has suddenly disappeared, and now we've seen for the first time in this game back-to-back punts.
Has not happened in quite a while. 24-14. St. Louis going to get back to football here. Punt is on the way. Just past midfield. Little bounce at the 8-yard line down to the 4 and get down in the end zone. That's a mistake by Arizona. Then we'll be right back after this as St. Louis has the football back in just a moment. And welcome back in to St. Louis, Missouri, 24-14, Week 10 of the SFL Season 14 on your screen at the moment. As we get down into the nitty-gritty of the playoff scenarios, this becomes a very crucial game for both sides. 24-14, and the Gladiators have the ball on offense. Over the right side, that's picked off, and back the other way. Arizona gets the ball turned over right away. It's Mana Kanaka again for the second time in this game.
Yeah, his 10th interception on the season, and this one's a beauty. Look at the athletic play by Kanaka there. Kanaka, excuse me, able to actually jump in front of the pass, fully fly there like he was dunking a basketball, in flight to grab that interception. Terrific pick, and boy, Arizona looking good, in prime position to score already.
Their momentum is absolutely surging at the moment. Ashley Jackson is in the gun. To her left, DJ Moses, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They're already in field goal range. Handoff, Moses gets taken down immediately, and it is 2nd and 11. So the question then becomes, what has Ashley Jackson done recently? Last week, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, a 280-yard passing day, but that 1 touchdown was a massive strike to basically give them the win to James Hands.
Yeah, night and day, and the way that she's playing in this game just looks more confident, more efficient. Terrific job as they try to get DJ Mosley involved.
Moses gets nowhere, 3rd and 10. So now let's get to the other question. What are you watching? This is the Simulation Football League, the world's first controllerless esport. And basically you as a viewer can be a part of it. All of these skill positions and some of the line positions are handled by, or actually representing real humans on the field. And coaches put in the game plans each and every week, and the AI will run those game plans over the middle. That is caught, and that is a touchdown at the perfect time. It's Donnie Hands. Both Hands brothers have touchdowns in this game.
Well, Donnie Hands this time just runs a post route, runs it with a lot of confidence, speed, really nice cut to break away from the defender. And that kind of separation, man, you can't pay for that kind of separation. Just an easy pass and catch. Ashley Jackson won't have it any easier today.
That's a perfectly done over the top throw. 30-14. Bryant Dynasty on for the extra point to make it a 17-point advantage. Snap is good, hold good, kick up and on the way. It is up and it is through. 31-14. St. Louis has got a comeback to make, but it's only the 3rd quarter. Plenty of time. Stay with us. Third quarter of play, late in it, as the Gladiators about to get the ball back. Chris Curtis, Stephen Molinex, along with you in the broadcast booth. 2:22 left in this third quarter. Now the Arizona Scorpions are going to do what they can to keep the ball away from Chase Earl, or at least keep him in a low-impact situation. He will have the football at the 9-yard line. Moves along, moves left at the 20, and they do a real good job of converging on him to stop him before he gets too far up. 27-yard line is where they start this drive. So something a little bit off the scene of the SFL, but also on the scene. One of our stats people, Rochelle Colston, caught this weekend sewing face masks for those in need and getting them where they need to go. So huge props to Ms. Colston for the effort in, and you know, that's something you really can't buy. That's really nice.
You're right. That kind of generosity of the time and spirit, I think encapsulates a lot of the spirit that a lot of people are feeling frustrated. But we are here, hopefully, bringing you some entertainment. We've got people behind the scenes like Cameron Irvine, Rochelle, as you mentioned, Tom Rahman, who are giving of their time and efforts to make this the best experience as possible for you guys at home watching. And I hope we can take you away from all this madness for a little bit.
Yeah, a little distraction does the body some good. No doubt about that. Offside I formation for Johnny Pickler. Trying to get something done on a 2nd and 9. Right side, put the ball in Diesel Dawson's hands in the open field. He'll get a couple, but then get taken out of bounds. 3rd and 4. St. Louis again in a 3rd down situation. Their night so far on it, they are 5 for 10. They would love to go 6 for 11 here and try to avoid another 3 and out.
Well, the fullback Blanton wide open there in the flat. You'd like to see the 6', 245-pound fullback power through maybe that first tackle, but makes this a very manageable 3rd and 4.
Offset I formation for Pickler. 7 in the box defensively. Quick drop back, nothing to it. Over the middle, a jumping catch and great effort. That'll get them a first down and then some. It's Sean Harrelson. First time we've called his name since the first quarter.
Yeah, but able to put that big 6'3" wingspan out there to grab that ball. And Chris, we've seen it a little bit more. It's been a lot tougher to pass in the middle for Pickler, and he's really having to throw through a lot of traffic, able to get that one in.
Pickler to throw. Long drop back, thrown short. That is a completion, not much to it, a 3-yard gainer. Make it 2nd and 7. They're going back to what was working earlier, I think, Stephen, is they go for the short game and maybe turn it into the long game later.
Well, you know, and the thing is, at some point here, down the score that you're at, you're going to have to throw the ball deep, and it's something that we have not seen this offense do yet.
High formation handoff, Dawson through the middle, not much happening, 3rd and 6, and another 3rd down situation for the Gladiators. Reminder, we've got more SFL action on the way this afternoon and into the evening. Mexico City and New Orleans, Eric Vincent and Cade Stevens have that call. 7 o'clock, Stephen Hacker and Dan Mitchell, and with the Charleston, Florida game, and then 9 o'clock, it's Atlanta and Queen City. And a matchup of 2 of the top 3 teams in the standings. Cameron Irvine and Charles Doherty have that one, all 3 games on 11 Sports and for the fans after we are done here. Over the middle, needs it, got it. That's a big 3rd down conversion for St. Louis. Get them into Arizona territory. It's 1st down.
Yeah, and it's that Pickler to Harrelson connection once again. And just a good opportunity to find him over the middle of the field for the 1st down.
17-point game, St. Louis driving at the moment. Stay with us. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. And we are back in St. Louis, Missouri for the start of the 4th quarter of play. And this becomes a big drive now for St. Louis, trying to make things interesting here in a must-win game, really, for both sides. 31-14, Arizona has the advantage. Pickler is under center on a 1st and 10. Pickler to throw, right side, and that is incomplete. That was a dangerous duck on the right-hand side and nearly caused problems for the Gladiators.
Yeah, Pickler with pressure in his face, almost threw that pick. But lucky for him, it actually bounces right off the defender onto the ground. But Pickler is going to be tested here for sure. This Arizona defense, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't pin their ears back and come after him with a lot more blitzes here, knowing that they're down 17.
The most sacked QB in the SFL, going to try to evade that here on a 2nd and 10. Handoff to Diesel. Dawson going to drag some Scorpions with him. It is 3rd and 7. Shout out to DFS_Almanac on Twitter. Thank you for the shout out on Twitter, and you can get involved in social media at SimulationFL. And if you would like, you can use the hashtag SFL Week 10 is your message to, as we go through, we can see some of those. But a very, very good game and a bunch of good games on the slate, including a matchup with 2 of the top 3 teams in the standings later, Atlanta and Queen City. That's a ball that should have been caught, but a real good time tackle is going to take that completion away. It's 4th and 7, and St. Louis in a spot here where they might have to punt it.
Yeah, and this number 85 there, Benny Brazel actually had the ball in his hands. If it hits you in the hands, young man, you got to bring that in. But nice bang play there by the Arizona defender. And now we've got a 4th down. I think it's too early to go for it here, so they'll likely punt it.
Going to try to pin back the Scorpions, maybe try to force a turnover on that side. They need a big impact play here fairly quickly, as they are running out of time. 10 and change left in the 4th quarter. Arizona, though, they're riding a wave of momentum after the 3-point win. Oh, that was nearly blocked. That is going to get to about the 8-yard line, bounce to the 4, down at the 4-yard line. That is exactly what St. Louis wanted to do. Crowd appreciates that. Put Ashley Jackson back out of the field in the shadow of her own end zone.
Yeah, and now the Gladiators' defense are going to be needed to try and get an early stop here to give their offense the best field position possible. They've got to put a lot of points on the board, and they've got to do so quickly.
1st and 10 from their own 4. Under center is Jackson. St. Louis looking like they're ready to send the house. They do. Run blitz is going to get taken down, or you're going to take down the runner, though, as Moses is going to get 2 yards and no more. 2nd and 8 at the 6-yard line.
Yeah, and I expect them to be pretty heavy here in the running game, just trying to get out from as far back as they are. They don't want to, you don't want to risk a pick 6 interception here, so probably want to run the ball until they feel comfortable in passing it a little bit out of their own goal, out of their goalpost.
That is Moses, who fights through 3 different Gladiators and eventually gets 2 yards and no more. 3rd and 6, and another 3rd down here for Arizona, who's been pretty good. Freeman Peltier on the stop.
Well, it's been tough sledding for Moses in this game. 14 carries, 38 rushing yards, averaging 2.7 per attempt.
3 to the right for Jackson. Moves up in the pocket, gets taken down. That's a big sack to get at the 3-yard line. 4th and 11, and they're forced to punt it from their own paint.
Well, for the Gladiators, it's mission accomplished here. Number 58 able to get around that edge, find the quarterback like a heat-seeking missile. Just a terrific play, exactly what they needed now, an opportunity for the Gladiators offense to get the ball in good field position.
Todd Dubstat gets around and on the sack. That is going to be the punt. Not much to it. Caught at the 34-yard line by Chase Earl. Dangerous man to kick it to at that point. He gets to the 27, and awesome field positioning for the Gladiators. On this drive alone, they're already in field goal range. This is where the comeback would need to start if they can mount it.
Yeah, and they really need to get in the end zone here as they have a kicker in Dorgan who's already missed 2 field goal attempts.
Do not want to have to rely on his foot if they can help it. This will be a throw right side, not much to it. In fact, a 3-yard loss. That's not how that was supposed to go, but Dawson gets taken down behind the line.
Yeah, it's they've really relied heavily on Dawson, quick passing game. But as the time continues to dwindle down, they're going to have to rely more on the arm of Johnny Pickler to get them where they need to be. And sometimes he's going to have to throw further than 6 or 7 yards down the field.
Trips right, 1 to the left for Pickler. Thrown over the middle, found the seam first. Nope, 3rd and inches. Very close to a first down, but did not quite get it. And it's 3rd and not a lot as Cody Scott comes up with that one.
Well, Pickler here able to find his reliable tight end in the middle of the field once again on just an all slants route. They just send everybody to the middle of the field, and the biggest guy at 6'5", Cody Scott, able to come down with it.
Mike and Prota in chat asking where is number 27. He's right there. Eddie Gage making a stop. You can contribute to the chat as well. Twitch.tv/FTF next. Handoff. Dawson. First down and more. Getting towards the 7-yard line. He gets taken down, or at the 11-yard line possibly. And it'll be 1st and 10 from there. They can still get a first down.
Well, Diesel Dawson has a nose for the end zone. Hasn't been able to get in yet in the game. That puts him right there on the edge of the century mark with that run. But 6 rushing touchdowns in this game. Wanted his 7th right there, and wasn't able to make it through the last line of defense.
Pickler to throw. Right side. Looking for the pylon. Not going to get there. Very close, but didn't quite get to where it needed to be. Nick Finch at the 2-yard line. Steps out of bounds.
Yeah, just a little out route to Nick Finch. His momentum took him out of bounds, but if he was going to be able to turn that corner, that's an easy touchdown.
Got to make this count. 2nd and 1, and they got to make it count soon. 31-14. Handoff. Dawson looking for the end zone. Got it. He's in. Touchdown. St. Louis making a 10-point game pending the extra point.
Well, you know what? I spoke to this young man's mother, and she had nothing but nice things to say about him, Chris. Diesel Dawson is a beast when it comes to these short yardage game, and he's been absolutely money, whether it's first downs or now into the end zone, getting them this critical score right when they need it here in midway in the fourth.
In before Mrs. Dawson is the chunky soup mom. That'd be great. 11-point game at the moment, possibly could be 10 when this is done. Dorgan ready for the extra point. Snap good, hold good, kick up and on the way. It is up and it is through. It's a 10-point contest, but Arizona is going to get the ball back right after this. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports, and for the fans, stay with us. Back to it, St. Louis, Missouri. Chris Curtis, Stephen Mullinex, Rochelle Colston, and Tom Rahman on stats. Cameron Irvine, producer and commissioner, on the buttons for production. And we are back underway just about. It is Roscoe Justice waiting deep for the return. It's only a 10-point game, still 7 and change left in this fourth quarter. St. Louis needs a quick stop just to see if they can put more points on the board. Spin move by Justice gets him out to the 29, and that is where Ashley Jackson and company will come out and start this drive. Been a very good game so far. Competitive. We've seen a little bit of everything in this contest, Stephen, and it looks to be a down-to-the-wire finish and a must-win game for both sides.
Well, for me, it may come down to the running of DJ Moses. As you try to salt away this game, you got to have an effective running game to run that clock. Hasn't been very effective so far tonight, but things could change.
St. Louis expecting the run. Throw on the inside slant. Caught. Not much to that one, but an 8-yard gain. Donnie Hands with his 6th reception.
Well, the St. Louis Gladiators defense, they're having to step up once again. Got a 3-and-out on the previous series with Arizona's offense. So giving their offense an opportunity to go down the field and score. They just got to do it again here with just over 6 minutes left here in the fourth quarter.
76 yards through the air receiving for Donnie. James has 72 yards. A little bit of a sibling rivalry there. Jackson to throw, right side. That one's picked off, and a perfectly timed turnover for the Gladiators. They'll bring it back to the 47-yard line of Scorpion territory. And don't look now, but this is not done yet. It's Colin Douglas.
Yeah, the strong safety, able to really hang back, playing center field out there. Just really spots this one better than the receiver can. I believe that was Tiberius Bovine, the tight end that Ashley Jackson loves to look for on those critical downs. But now, you know what, I thoroughly think this is a result, Chris, of not being able to run the ball effectively. The Arizona having to still rely on their passing game, turns the ball over, gives the Gladiators an opportunity to get back in this game.
don't look now. The Gladiators were down as many as 17 just one drive ago. They have a chance to get it to a 3-point game, and that was nearly disaster for the Gladiators. But talking about the Gladiators, their rushing yards per game, and you see they've gotten better as the seasons have gone along, finally in a position now where they're just on the cusp, on the precipice of playoffs.
Yeah, averaging over the century mark per game, and that's the maturation of Diesel Dawson and just what he's been able to do, not only himself as a player, but in this offense with this offensive coordinator, able to figure out ways to get him the ball inventively.
2nd and 10, run after a 1-yard gain. It'll be a 3rd and 9, and after having a decent 3rd down day, the Gladiators are looking at a clutch 3rd down here. They're 8 for 14 on the contest, just better than 50%. They could really go for a 9 and 15 if they can get it here. It's one that they probably need. 2 to the left, 2 to the right for Pickler. 5-step drop, looks to throw, throws for the 1st down and more. He's got a catch out to the 20, to the 15, and out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Gets marked at the 14, and they are in business. Chase Earl on the right side of the field.
Well, this is a guy in Chase Earl. You think that you've got him blanketed, and the next thing you know, he's plucking the ball off your forehead. I mean, this is a guy who is an absolute playmaker. We've seen how special he is as a returner, just as special as a receiver, and a guy who's just really finding his way in this league as a rookie. A great 2nd-round pick in the draft, and we're seeing a budding superstar here, CC.
He's a great all-around athlete, and he displays that here. 2 to the left, 1 to the right, handoff Dawson through the middle, and he'll get a couple. 2nd and 5 to the 9-yard line. And again, they're in a position where they need to score fairly quickly because their job is not done yet.
Well, down 10 points, you think they'd feel the pressure of maybe not using the running game as much, but Diesel Dawson is such an integral part of what they do offensively. They can't afford not to get him involved. Double negative.
Offset I formation for Pickler. Double negative not allowed in this broadcast booth. Have you speak with HR in the morning. That's going to be a run up the middle for a 1-yard gain. Another key 3rd down. Trying to go 10 for 16 now. Pickler to throw inside. No, not going to happen. 4th and 4. Decision time here for the Gladiators. I say kick it. I think you're close enough here to give Dorgan the benefit of the doubt. But you tell me.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's get the points on the board, make this a 1-score game, and then hope that our defense can once again get another stop.
Need the points. 10-point game, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Judah Dorgan. When the team needs the kicker most. 25-yard chip shot, snap good, hold good from the right hash. It is up, and it is through, and that is huge. Get them to a 1-possession game, get your defense back out on the field, and hopefully they can hold and give your team a chance to tie the game.
And what a confidence builder for your rookie kicker there.
They're going to go onside.
Wow.
All right, decision time for the Gladiators. Special teams ace. Can they do it? Has to go 10 yards. It does. It's still on the ground, but it's picked up by the Scorpions, and they will have the football with real good field position.
Well, that was the tight end Jenkins out there, able to catch the ball off the bounce. I mean, before it bounced off the ground, catch it off the ground, and that's why you have offensive players out there on special teams like that. A tight end with those kind of hands can bring the ball in, secures it, may have secured this victory for them.
Wow, I would have kicked it deep. I don't know about you, but that's where I would have done. But decision's been made. Now they got to live with the consequences. This will be an immediate tackle after a 3-yard gain as Moses gets the football. Should see a steady diet of him for the foreseeable future as they try to get this thing down into at least field goal range.
Yeah, averaging just 2.7 yards per carry. The odds are with St. Louis defense here if they're going to go straight carries to Moses. But if he can break through here just a little bit, it won't take much to salt away this game.
Under center is Jackson. That's a free play. They got to take advantage of this. Moses through the middle, not much to it, but they're going to get some yardage anyway, and that is going to put them inside of the field goal range.
Well, you've got to have everything go right for you if you're St. Louis, and you can't be making these kind of mistakes. And it's going to cost them here, and Let's see how it affects the ending of this game.
That's a problem. That's a big problem for St. Louis. That's going to set Arizona right where they want to be, and I believe it was Masters who was the guilty party there who jumped off. And he'll be kicking himself later. 2nd and 2. From the 31, they have long field goal range from here for Dynasty. Left side, Moses trying to get the first down, gets pushed across the line. That is a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line now as they continue to eat time away from the clock.
Well, Moses benefiting from the defensive pursuit from behind him, the actual defenders, in an attempt to tackle him, push him across the first down marker. You'd likely like to see the defenders come up on him and try to drag him backwards, but that momentum has now given this Scorpions team a fresh set of downs.
In what is a must-win game for both sides. As of right now, the momentum firmly on the side of Arizona. After they recovered the onside kick that St. Louis tried to send their way. Another free play, and Moses is going to have a run, but it doesn't matter. It'll repeat the down and give him 5 more yards.
Everything falling apart here for the Gladiators. Stadium nightmare here is down 1 score. You're pretty much guaranteeing Arizona's going to get a field goal up. That just gives more work to be done here in this game where your defense has done a good job to get you into this position. Now they're doing a bad job to get you out of it.
Masters and Roberto, the guilty party on 2 offsides plays. See if they can get that corrected, and hopefully it's not too late. 1st and 5. 4 on the defensive line. Jackson is in the gun. To her left, DJ Moses the second. 3-step drop, looks to throw. Right side, that's caught towards the sideline and out of... No, I think he stepped out of bounds. He did. That's what I was thinking. 1st and 10 at the 7-yard line. But good work to get them deeper into territory at Donnie Hands.
Well, when you need a big play to be made, Ashley Jackson's going to deliver for you. She's delivered this entire game. 21 of 25 for 302 yards, 4 touchdowns. And she's only had 4 incompletions in this game, 3 of them for interceptions, but really efficient outside of those 3 picks.
2 in the gun with her. 2 to the left, 1 to the right, trying to put this game potentially on ice with 3.5 minutes left. Has the football, high snap, 3-step drop, looks to throw, moves out of the pocket, and throws on the run, out of bounds, and dangerous. Okay, well, it's 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line.
Well, in that situation, it looked like she had an open lane to the end zone, could have ran it in, likely felt the heat from behind her from the defenders, didn't want to risk fumbling the ball in this situation, just throws it away. It's 2nd down, but it does stop the clock.
Does indeed. Offset I formation. Moses the deep back, 2 to the left. Handoff Moses, right side trying to go off tackle. Gets taken down behind the line. From the 7-yard line, this 3rd and goal will take place. And this is still, I mean, if you're St. Louis, you can hardly afford to even give up 3 points here, but you may not have a choice.
Yeah, you're likely right. And if I am Arizona, I'm playing it safe here. Let's run the ball. Let's continue to run this clock, get the sure points on the board, and give us a good 10-point lead.
In the gun. To the left is Moses. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. St. Louis brings 4 to the line. Everyone else back in coverage. Handoff Moses through the middle. Not going to happen. I don't think they particularly care. At this point, you have a chance for Bryant Dynasty to make it a 2-possession game again, and it'll be from this spot a 24-yard attempt.
And the 2-minute warning coming up. Actually, the 2-minute warning will hit before the end of the play clock. But let's see if they know that. If they kick this away, kick this field goal attempt before the end, before the 2-minute warning, some wasted time that they could have taken advantage of.
See if that's the case. From the right hash, 7 seconds left on the play clock and before the 2-minute warning. 3, do they get it off? Looks like they know. Nope, they do get it off. This kick is up and on the way. It is up and through. Yeah. So they do take the points. It's a 10-point game again with $1:59 to go in action in regulation in St. Louis. As we hit the 2-minute warning, though, we will be back in just a moment. St. Louis about to get the ball back. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. And back to it. 34-24, the Scorpions on top of the Gladiators. Gladiators about to get the ball back. Chris Curtis, Stephen Molinex along with you for the rest of this one. Whole slew of SFL action on tap today as this ball is up and gone. Now would be a great time for Chase Earl to make an impact here on this return. If he can do that, he will go right into the crowd and get taken down at the 29-yard line. And let's have Pickler back out on the field here after the what was a disaster last time they had well, not really, they had the field goal, but the onside kick is what really started this problem scenario to happen.
Yeah, and we often talk about quarterbacks playing hero ball. In this situation, you've got to absolutely play hero ball here for Pickler, as it all relies on his arm.
Need to get something done. Pickler throws short, little crossing pattern. Not much to that there. They don't really have the time to be doing little throws like that.
Nah, but they've got this offense installed that takes advantage of the short passing game. They've got to look long at some point.
Looks to throw here on second down. They'll look long here. That's tipped. And tip drill is not going to have anything to it. It'll hit the ground 3rd and 6. Kanaka in the area on the PD as well. And it'll be it's 4-down territory, no doubt. So they have a couple plays to do something here.
Well, Kanaka, who already has 2 interceptions in this game, was in the area, but so was Eddie Gage. And I have to remind you guys that don't know, #1 in SFL history in interceptions, tackles, and pass deflections is that guy sitting back there too.
Number 27 playing center field right at the moment. You can see him on the far right of your screen. Trips left. Looks to throw to the outside, caught, out of bounds he goes. No, they'll say he caught it out of bounds. That's not going to work, and it'll be 4th down, and they'll have to make it happen on this do-or-die play.
Well, let's see if we get a booth review here. Maybe I thought it was really close there, Chris, but apparently not. You've got to go for it, though.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. 4th and 6, only 4th down conversion attempt we'll see tonight. Well, at least as of now.
Yeah, so far.
Trips left, 1 to the right. Pickler to throw. They need it. This time they got it, but he went back across the line to gain. They do not get the 1st down, and the ball belongs to the Scorpions.
Wow, that's just heartbreaking. Chase Earl coming back for the ball. His momentum takes him back across the 1st down marker, and the defenders just all over him. If that ball was thrown just a little bit better out in front of him, a little bit more, but he had to go back and get it. Boy, that one's on Pickler.
That is indeed. This is going to be Ashley Jackson. Pretty close to victory formation, but the Gladiators still have timeouts to burn, and they'll burn one here, 2nd and 10 in a 10-point game. Let's look ahead to the future for both of these squads as we get this one kind of iced up here. For St. Louis, as long as things hold, they will go to 4 and 6, and things do not get easier 1 week from now. They go up against the 3rd-ranked Queen City Corsairs, the 4-time champs, who are in a groove this season. That is that's going to turn that into an absolute must-win game for them. And by the time these games are over this week, I don't even know if it will be too late at that point.
Yeah, you're right. They face Queen City. Actually, both of these teams have Queen City on their schedule coming up.
Yeah.
So both of these teams going to have some tough sledding for them in the next couple of games. But after Queen City, St. Louis is going into Carolina, a team that they lost to in week 1. So it's going to be a tough couple games and a tough stretch for St. Louis to try and get into that playoff push. Certainly losing this battle is going to hurt them. For Arizona, they've got Vegas coming up
Yep.
Next week, a team that they lost to, but they lost to Vegas in Vegas, where the Fury are a very different team on the road. And then the Scorpions go, and as we said, they actually have to go into Queen City and face them in the final week of the regular season.
That's gonna be rough sledding, as Queen City has a really tough game tonight against Atlanta. That's going to be two of the top 3 teams in the rankings going to do battle. That's at 9 p.m. this evening on 11 Sports and for the fans. And we've got a game coming up after this one as well, as Eric Vincent and Cade Stevens are waiting for us to be done. They're down in the Big Easy in New Orleans. Mexico City is down there still trying to continue their playoff push as well. This will bounce the 2 to the 1, and it'll give St. Louis the ball at the 20-yard line. Still a minute to go. A little more than a minute. I guess we've seen weirder things happen than 2 scores happen in a minute's time, but it's going to be something if they can pull this off somewhere.
Right, and we're going to need to see something from the Gladiators offense we haven't seen in this entire game, which is them looking deep. They're going to have to connect on the deep ball to score quickly.
Expect a long drop back. I'd expect here from Pickler. They don't really have the time to do much else. 5-step throw, right side. That's caught. Gets it out to the 46-yard line. That's a nice pitch and catch. That'll move them forward as they try to go no huddle here.
Yeah, inches away from the out-of-bound marker, but a good job by the defender to make sure he's tackled in bounds.
Another throw over the middle. That's caught. Still middle of the field. First down and more. 1st and 10 to the 44-yard line. This has to be a shot at the end zone, I would imagine. And they'll spike it instead. So they'll at least game the clock. That's fine. 41 seconds to go, and I expect next one of 2 passes should be towards the end zone, as they have to really get something to go right on that side of the ball.
Well, or something along the sidelines to make sure that they stop the clock. You know, this running down the field to get into formation, it's just using up so much of the clock. Try to get in the end zone. If they get in, expect the onside kick. Maybe they could tie this one up with a field goal.
Trips left, 1 to the right for St. Louis. Pickler sees something on the line. Throw left, trying to get it out of bounds quickly. He does just that. Quick 5-yard gain. Now, they could elect to go field goal if they get in range real quick and then try for the onside to give themselves a couple of seconds.
We've seen them do that before, rather than take risking it on 4th down, even really close. I think at the 8-yard line, they went ahead and just went to get the points, the 3 points there on the field goal attempt, and they could certainly do the same here.
Nick Finch, top of your screen. See if they go his way. Sean Harrelson in the slot at the moment. Chase Earl, bottom of your screen. Pickler to throw, looking Harrelson's way. That's going to be incomplete. 4th and 5. It's 4-down territory, so they'll obviously go for it here. BJ Loveless in the area gets the stop on the PD.
Yeah, if maybe you had kind of a more experienced, more powerful kicker, maybe you try it here from. I doubt it, but I think now they're just in a situation where 4th and 5, down 10. They've got to convert this. Look for something towards the out of bounds marker for sure.
35 seconds left on a 4th and 5. Now they have to get the first down. They're outside of field goal range for sure. 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 1 in the backfield. That is Diesel Dawson. Pickler to throw. 5-step drop, plenty of time. Pocket holds. That should have been picked, and that probably would have gone back the other way. Incomplete. Nick Finch, the intended target. Not going to happen. It's first down for Arizona, and that's going to be your ball game.
Yeah, either it's picked or knocked down. That does the same thing. It ends this game. And just a terrific job there by the defender to get in front of the ball. And just a route that took way too long to develop. And then once it actually did develop, the defender was just in perfect position.
Well, this is all but over. And Arizona will add another notch in the all-time series scorebook for the Oklahoma City Renegades / Arizona Scorpions. So a victory formation for Ashley Jackson. They've now won 2 straight and 2 must-win games. They're going to move to a 4-6, which is exactly the same record as one St. Louis. And now I believe the head-to-head is going to take over, and they're going to be in good shape going forward.
That's true, and this is the Scorpions' first back-to-back wins of the season, so it kind of tells you kind of the up-and-down roller coaster that they've had. But if you're going to get hot, and Eddie Gage knows to get hot, to do it at the end of the season, exactly the right time. He did it with Houston last year, and it got them into the playoffs.
Absolutely. Scorpions may go that way as well. Stephen Mullinex, your post-game thoughts on a pretty good one here in St. Louis.
Well, I thought we had an offensive fireworks show there in the first half, and then we saw the defenses really clamp down in the second half, a real testimony to halftime adjustments in this game. But I come away really impressed with these two quarterbacks. Johnny Pickler, 35 of 50, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Ashley Jackson with 302 total yards, 21 of 26, 80% completion rate, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but really made big plays when they needed to. Especially Jackson really led them to victory with her arm. Very impressed by her tonight.
And if this is the last we see of the playoff push for St. Louis, which I don't think it is, I think they still have a chance to do something here. You got to give love to Johnny Pickler for his first campaign in the SFL. He has handled himself very well as a rookie.
Yeah, you're right. In his own PR machine. I mean, a guy that really has established himself as a star through his own efforts, not only on the field, but off the field. So certainly a name that a lot of people know, and a name that I think people are going to know for a long time in this league. And you got to remember that he is just a rookie and a guy that's going to steadily progress and improve as it goes along. And that just means a very bright future for St. Louis.
5 words or less, your player of the game.
Oh, 5 words or less. Wow. It's easy. Ashley Jackson, yes.
I like it. I like it.
5 words.
I do that to everybody at the end of the game lately. The interesting answers I've gotten have been pretty good. So that's going to seal things up here in St. Louis, the gateway to the West from the Coliseum. Chris Curtis and Stephen Mullinex for Tom Rahman and Rochelle Colson, as well as Cameron Irvine, producer and commissioner. We will leave you with the rest of the highlights and that player of the game announcement. Stay tuned, though. We're headed to the Big Easy. After this, Eric Vincent and Kate Stevens wait for you, Mexico City and New Orleans, after a short break on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Good night. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League. Head over to simulationfl.net for more information. See ya from the Coliseum.